shot making and Wiggs, the aggression that he came out with on both sides of the ball. He was aggressive on Fred, handling the ball, and he was aggressive attacking the rim and taking his shot. And it was a beautiful thing to watch. So we'll need that moving forward. Teams are going to key on Steph, as they always do. Steph won't continue to have nights like that, but teams are always going to key on them, and it's important for those guys to do that, to keep the defense honest and make them have to account for them as well.
Draymond, you guys have been so dominant to start the year. Are you surprised at how well it's all going?
I wouldn't necessarily say surprised that it's going well, but a little surprised that it's going as well as fast as it is. And everyone talks about our schedule, which is, there's some truth to that. I think, we haven't had the toughest schedule in the world, but you can only play who they put out there in front of you. And I think regardless of who we playing, we're handling our business the way it should be handled. So I feel good about it. I know our team feel good about it. Got a lot of confident guys, and, we got to continue to get better, though. We got a long ways to go.
Steve said one of the things that's locking into place for the team's identity is a great two-way team. You are the tip of that spear. How would you describe the start to your season?
I think I've been pretty good. I think I've been incredible defensively, which I should be at this point. I hope so. And offensively, I think I've been good as well. I think I'm reading the floor well. I'm trying to cut back on my turnovers. I think that's an area of improvement for me. Take the shot when it's there, be aggressive when I need to be aggressive, but get my teammates involved. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. I have fun doing that, and it's good for our team. So I think I've been pretty good to start the year, and, that rolls right in hand with our team being good, our team is playing well, and just trying to do what I can to help that, whatever it is.
Draymond, two-parter. Steve called you the best defender in the world.
I agree.
There you go. Answer number one. You also said you're playing with some new kind of fire this season. Is that true? And if so, what's the motivation?
Yeah, it is true. I've just kind of found that love again, kind of go through a lot of shit, and, the love kind of wanes a little bit. But I've just found that love and that joy for the game, and I'm just enjoying playing basketball and controlling what I can control. A point of emphasis for myself this year was simply to control what I can control. That means on the court, that means with the referees, that means off the floor. That's just a step in my life, and I think it shows on a basketball court. And so my son is getting older. My daughter is my oldest daughter. She's 7 now. They kind of get on my ass if we lose. So that's motivation. And I think for me also, I've been shitty the last couple years. And so my kids don't really understand how good I am. And I want them to see how good I am so they'll have an understanding. And so that is motivation for me. When I was playing at the top of my level, which I'm getting back to that now, but I was playing at the top of my level, like 3-1. So, that is motivating for me to play well in front of them so they have an understanding of what I do. And, and most importantly, I want to win. I want to be a defensive player of the year again, and I want to be an all-star again. And that is motivating me because a lot of people had counted me out. And, same mistake people made before when I first came into the league. My dog Marcus ain't make that mistake. He told you I was a sleeper in the draft when I first came out. I remember that.
2012.
But a lot of people doubted me and doubted me again, and that's fuel to the fire.
Draymond.
Any concern from you? It looks like you're playing really hard, especially fourth quarter. It's bigger guys.
it's a lot of contested rebounds, a lot of like you going all out. How concerned are you? Because this is November.
I'm not concerned at all because I feel incredible and I take better care of my body today than I ever have. I don't drink really anymore like I used to. I used to go after it a little bit. And I mean, I'm 31 years old now, so I try to do all the necessary things to make sure my body is in shape and ready to go. And lifting more than I ever have. And so I think staying healthy, if you do the things that you have to do to stay healthy, for the most part, you'll stay healthy. I mean, there's freak accidents that happen. That's just the nature of the game that we play in. But I think when you're putting the work in to prevent the injuries, to take all of those hits and have my body prepared for that, I don't lead these. When we play on the road and we get on the plane and we get off the plane, I can run down the stairs. And before I used to creep down them stairs, like knees hurting, feet hurting. I feel incredible. And so it's not a worry for me at all. Whereas before it was, and you kind of take all those hits and you're not doing everything else around that to make sure your body is ready for those hits and you start to break down. And so I think, for me, it's just continuing to take care of my body the way I'm taking care of my body. And I think I'll continue to feel great.
Draymond, when you guys are building these leads in games, it gives you some flexibility to try different player combinations. What do you think about that flexibility? And two, when Chose is on the court, do you ever squint at him and see Steph sometimes?
Well, Cheese is much shorter than Steph. I've been playing with Steph for quite a while, so I kind of always know where he is. But I think one thing we've always talked about is strength and number and depth. And last couple of years, we haven't had that depth. I think we have that depth back this year, and it's showing. A couple guys go out the lineup. Guys are stepping up. The other night, we had 4 guys out of the lineup. You had everyone stepping up. And so I think it is a testament to Bob and our front office, our ownership group, and putting the necessary tools and pieces in place to be successful. And you can rely on that depth. And, one thing about Steve is he's never going to let someone sit on the bench and rot. That's just not how he coaches. He's going to, at least every few games, make sure a guy get an opportunity to stay in it and know that their chance is coming. And I think that's been Steve since he came here. And it's not changing now, especially with the depth that we have. So, I think it's great that we can rely on that depth. I think it's great that you can kind of play with the lineups and see what lineups work best together, because it won't always be up 15 the whole game, up 20 the whole game. And so you need to know those lineups. If you're struggling offensively, which lineup you want to go to. If you're struggling defensively, which lineup you want to go to. If you're struggling rebounding, which lineup you want to go to. And so I think all that is beneficial, and building these leads and getting guys opportunities is important, because as we've seen now, you get these guys opportunity, they show what they can do, and then all of a sudden they're playing in real games and making plays and helping us win games. And so I think that's important, and we need to continue to build up on that.
On the same line, Draymond, you guys are 17 games in now, and I'm wondering if you have seen enough to sort of break down the potential for the second unit once everybody gets back.
I think the potential of the second unit is, number one, I think it's changing because it's, like I said, we've been playing with those lineups. So at first, you obviously had Steph playing all of his minutes in the first quarter. And then over the course of the last 7 or 8 games or so, breaking those minutes up and seeing where he's at with that group and seeing where Jordan is with that group. You've seen some times where Wiggs is the guy in that group. And so I think we know what we have there. It's no surprise what we have there at this point. We know exactly what we have. And, I think that lineup is doing an incredible job all year. I mean, there's been games where, you look at the plus-minus category, and I'm -6, Steph -7, and Belly, Otto, GP1, D-League, those guys are plus 18. And so I think that is a testament to the depth that we have. And, we're going to continue to rely on that, and they'll continue to produce the way they have.
Wiggins has seemed to have been able to keep that aggressiveness since Minnesota consistently. Like, how big is that, and what's it like to see Wiggins get after it the way he does?
It's huge to see that aggression. Wiggs is iron, man. He don't miss games, but the reality is, he was a little banged up, coming into the season in those first few weeks. And as he started to feel better, you saw the aggressiveness continue to pick up. And since that Minnesota game, it's been full throttle. So that's what we need from him. Obviously, we know he's capable. And he'll continue to play aggressive. I'll make sure of that. And, he playing the way he's playing on both ends of the ball makes it really tough to beat us.